At yung katotohanan doon sa likod ng ng Batangas Alitagtag, biggest drug haul ever in the history of drug enforcement here in the Philippines. Sa Batangas Alitagtag drug haul nga, ano na bang nangyari dyan? Nasaan na yung driver nung van na nahuli at ano na bang kaso nito? Saan naka-file? Anong progreso? And so on and so forth. Kung gaano katikas at katapang ang kahit na sinong chairman ng kahit anong komite sa Senado.
Klaro yun Pag sinabi pong motu proprio, walang formal resolution pero based on facts and information, gumawa ka ng hakbang dahil naniniwala ka na may batayang tama. At
ito nga mga kababayan, bago natin ituloy ang video na ito, kung bago ka lang sa aking YouTube channel baka pwede makahingi ng like at subscribe at click mo na rin ang notification bell para updated ka sa aking nilalabas na bagong video. Salamat po.
Sabi ko nga, premature yung pag-cite in contempt kay Agent Morales dahil ang haba ng dinaanan nito. Sumasahod, ilang taong empleyado at the hearing was supposedly or in aid of legislation. What is the law that these lawmakers are intending to pass, to repeal, or to amend? Is it about any law that falsifies yung mga document presented to the government para maging empleyado ka ng gobyerno, o ito yung tungkol doon sa PIDEA document leak at yung biggest drug haul sa Batangas Alitagtag?
Correct.
Nawalan ng nawalan ng focus yung, I would say, dapat ibinalik nung chairman ng komite yung direksyon ng kanyang hearing doon sa primary purpose why the hearing nagsimula. Ito ay tungkol doon sa document ng PIDEA na nag-circulate at yung drug haul nga sa Batangas Alitagtag.
Correct.
Yun ang primary reason kung bakit nagdidinig ang committee niya. Dapat ibinalik niya ron rather than citing the primary resource person in contempt. It's premature, but then again, there is still time. There is still plenty of time to correct this seemingly injustice committed against the person of PIDEA Agent Morales.
Attorney Vic Rodriguez, this may seem speculative as a question, but can the new Senate President overtake and make a decision na sabihan niya si Senator Bato de la Rosa, which nag-leak na ito, na bago ipagpapatuloy ang Morales PIDEA leak investigation and drug abuse and the drug haul questionable Alitagtag drug operation, ay magpasamo na si Senator Bato de la Rosa on the floor ng Senate resolution requesting for the formal proceedings of investigation kasi ito daw ay motu proprio. Pending on that, the Senate President, the new Senate President, Escudero, is not bent into continuing this kind of motu proprio level of investigation. Pwede bang gawin niya ng Senate President? At sa tingin mo, doon ba papunta ito, Attorney Victor?
Well, again, it's too early to be measuring the kind of leadership that the newly installed Senate President will show and display upon the resumption of the session ng Kongreso. But pwede ba nilang gawin? Meron naman silang internal rules dyan. Kahit ano, pwede nilang gawin. I just hope that the Senate, the chairman of the committee will be steadfast in his resolve and his principle to ferret out the truth dito sa PIDEA leaked document at yung katotohanan doon sa likod ng Batangas Alitagtag, biggest drug haul ever in the history of drug enforcement here in the Philippines. Dapat ibalik niya yan, ituloy niya yon, because otherwise talagang may injustice. What will you do with the likes of James Kumar?
Yeah.
He was mentioned as attempting to bribe di umano base doon sa video na nakuhaan si Picoy. O bakit hindi ipatawag yon? Hindi pa buo yung hearing And then of course, yung doon sa Batangas Alitagtag drug haul nga, ano na bang nangyari dyan? Nasaan na yung driver nung van na nahuli at ano na bang kaso nito? Saan naka-file? Anong progreso? And so on and so forth.
Kapag nakakulong in contempt, on detention, ang main resource person, at kapag na-require ng Senate President na bago ni Chis Escudero, si Senator Bato de la Rosa na mag-submit mo na ng resolution at kung anong lalamanin ng kanyang hearing at hindi ang kasalukuyang motu proprio level of investigation, sa tingin mo, yun ay masusunod dapat bago magpapatuloy o hindi na dapat magpapatuloy kung hindi makapag-submit ng resolution si Senator Bato in case required sa kanya ng new Senate President?
Depende na yan sa tikas at tapang ng chairman ng komite.
Okay.
Committee mo yun eh. Ikaw chairman doon. Ikaw masusunod doon.
At parang hindi naman stipulated sa Senate rules na hindi pwede mag-motu proprio.
At hindi mo pwedeng pigilan ng committee hearing hanggat sinasangayunan ng chairman. Dapat yun ituloy. But again, it will all boil down and lead to kung gaano katikas at katapang ang kahit na sinong chairman ng kahit anong komite sa Senado.
Klaro yun Pag sinabi pong motu proprio, walang formal resolution pero based on facts and information, gumawa ka ng hakbang dahil naniniwala ka na may batayang tama at makatotohanan ang pag-iimbestiga at pangangailangan in the absence of formal resolution. At sabi namin Attorney Vic Rodriguez, sa aming talakayan dito, hindi po yun mali, hindi nakasaad absolute sa rules sa Senate na bawal gawin yon. At sabi niya, nasa tikas at lakas ng paninindigan niya ng committee chairperson or chairman kung ipagpapatuloy o hindi. Attorney Vic, lipat muna tayo dito sa isa pang maniobra na para ilipat ang atensyon ng taong bayan ay isinalang ang mga former cabinet secretaries, top security and top level cabinet officers ng former Duterte administration dito sa ongoing na gentleman's agreement hearing na kung baga ay naibenta ba at nailagay sa panganib ng former President Duterte ang soberanya ng bansa in terms of the ongoing maritime dispute ng China at Pilipinas diyan sa may South China Sea or sa West Philippine Sea. Tunghayan muna natin ito.
Do you swear to tell the
Sa ikalawang araw na magkatuwang na investigasyon ng House Committee on National Defense and Security at Special Committee on the West Philippine Sea nito Martes, Mayo 21, hinggil sa umunoy gentleman's agreement sa pagitan ng China at dating administrasyon. Present na ang mga inimbitahang dating miyembro ng gabinete ng Duterte administration matapos na hindi sumipot sa unang araw ng pagdinig. Kabilang dito sina dating Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea, dating Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana at dating National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon Jr. Iginiit ng tatlong opisyal na hindi nila iniiwasan ang pagdinig ng dalawang komite sa Kamara at nagpaliwanag kung bakit hindi sila sumipot sa unang pagdinig nitong Lunes.
First, I would like to extend my apologies for being unable to attend the initial hearing yesterday. I received the letter invitation on a Friday, May 17. I had to attend to previously set engagement on May 20 yesterday. Contrary to some statements that we were avoiding this inquiry, we wrote this honorable body explaining our predicament, why we cannot attend the initial inquiry.
like the former executive secretary, I also apologize for not coming here yesterday because I've been away for a week last week, and when I came back, a lot of work was waiting for me at the office.
It is indeed my pleasure and honor to attend this meeting. I could have attended yesterday if I got an invitation. It seems that I was not traced by the Secretariat. It's good that the Honorable Chairperson Chairman Tupas, sent me an email through his staff. And I promptly answered last night that I will attend to today after our stockbrokers meeting, stockholders meeting today.
Sa pagdinig, nilinaw ni Medialdea na walang ginawang gentleman's agreement ang dating Pangulong Duterte at President Xi kasunod ng 8 beses na pagkikita ng dalawang lider mula noong 2016 hanggang 2018.
In my capacity as Executive Secretary, I was able to attend 2 of the official meetings between former President Duterte and President Xi. First was a state visit of President Xi in the Philippines sometime in November 2018, and the second was on the official visit of President Duterte to China in August 2019. Secretary Locsin was present in all those meetings. Of these 2 official meetings I attended, no gentleman's agreement ever took place between former President Duterte and President Xi.
Dagdag pa niya, ipinagpatuloy lamang ng Duterte administration kung anong napagkasunduan ng Aquino administration sa China noong 2013 sa ilalim ni dating Defense Secretary Voltaire Gazmin. Yon ay ang pagsusupply lamang ng pagkain at tubig para sa tropa na militar na nakaistasyon sa BRP Sierra Madre sa Ayungin Shoal at ang hindi pag-repair sa kinakalawang na World War II warship.
The decision on the West Philippine Sea dispute came out on July 12, barely 12 days after the Duterte administration assumed office. The status quo at the Ayungin Shoals, where BRP Sierra Madre, a dilapidated warship has served as a Philippine military outpost in a low elevation reef since 1999, was in a 2013 commitment of former Defense Secretary Gasmin to the